Last time we talked about how we can write equations given different parts or different components. Today we're going to be talking about how we can write equations of parallel lines. Now remember that parallel lines are lines that never intersect, and in terms of what they have in common, they have the same slope, but they have different y-intercepts. So for example, y equals 2x minus 5 and y equals 2x plus 1, without even graphing it, we know that these are parallel lines because they have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. But let's go ahead and graph it anyway to see this. So y equals 2x minus 5, we're going to start at negative 5 on the y-axis and go up 2 and to the right 1. For y equals 2x plus 1, we're going to start at 1 on the y-axis and also go up 2 over 1. So you can see here how those two lines are parallel to each other. They are lines that will never intersect. Now, how do you go about writing equations of parallel lines? Well, if you're given a point and a line that it is parallel to, you can determine the slope of the line it is parallel to. So if it's easy to see that, if it's in slope-intercept form, you'll know what the slope is. If it's not, then put it into slope-intercept form to determine what the slope of the line that it's parallel to is. Then you'll use that slope and a given point to find the y-intercept. Once you have the y-intercept as well, then you're able to write the equation. Take a look at example 1. Write the equation of a line going through 4, 1 and parallel to y equals 1/2 x minus 7. So if it's parallel to this line, that means it has to have the same slope. That means m is going to equal 1/2. Now you're also given a point that it goes through, so now we can use that point and substitute that in for x and y. So we have 1 equals 1/2 times 4 plus b. Now we can solve for b. So we subtract 2 from both sides and we get b is equal to negative 1. Now we have both the slope and the y-intercept, and I'm going to be able to write the equation of this line. Y equals 1/2 x minus 1. Let's look at example 2. Write the equation of a line through negative 1, 3 and parallel to 4x plus y equals 3. Now you'll notice here that this is not in the form y equals mx plus b. So we're going to start off by getting y by itself so that we can find the slope. To do this, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So I have y equals negative 4x plus 3. So now I can see that the slope is going to be negative 4. All right, so now y equals negative 4x plus b. I don't know what b is, but I do know one of the points that this line goes through. So I can plug in negative 1 and 3 for x and y. So now I have 3 equals negative 4 times negative 1 plus b. And now I'm going to solve for b. So 3 equals 4 plus b, and I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. And that leaves me with b equals negative 1. So the equation of this line is going to be y equals negative 4x minus 1. Let's look at example 3. Write the equation of a line through 5, 2 that is parallel to the line x equals 9. Now, remember that this line x equals 9 is simply going to be a vertical line. So this slope is actually going to be undefined, or we would say there's no slope. Well, if we know that, that means that the equation of the line that goes through 5, 2 is also going to have to be a vertical line. So, to write the equation of this line, it's also going to be of the form x equals, and what is x equal to? Well, if it goes through the point 5, 2, that means it must go through x equals 5. So the equation of this line is just going to be x equals 5. All right, we have one last example. Write the equation of a line through negative 7, 2 in parallel to y equals 3. Now for this line y equals 3, we know this has a slope of 0. This is really just going to be a horizontal line. Now, Because you know it's a horizontal line, you know that the equation that we're going to write is also going to be of the form y equals a number. Now what is y going to equal? Well, since this line goes through the point -7, 2, that must mean that this line must go through 2. So the equation of this line is just going to be y equals 2.